feels like everyone in Perth is talking about one thing: crazy house prices. You can't open a paper or scroll online without headlines screaming about a market on fire. The median house price has blown past 920k and it's charging towards $1 million. But what if I told you the real money isn't made in those frantic, overheated bidding wars for a backyard and a picket fence? What if I told you the smartest investors are quietly snapping up properties that most people are completely ignoring? Yep, that's right. While the masses are fixated on houses, a quieter, more powerful opportunity, I'd say, is unfolding in Perth's unit market. We're not just talking about apartments, we're talking about strategic assets that offer a lower cost to get in, much better rental returns and explosive growth potential, if you know where to look. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact method to find undervalued units in Perth that are set to boom. We'll break down the key market signals you need to be tracking. I'll reveal the specific suburbs where these gems are hiding in plain sight, and I'll give you a strategy to get ahead of the competition. So stick around, because this is the kind of info that separates the average investor from the one who actually builds serious wealth. So it's easy to see why everyone is obsessed with houses. We see the data everywhere. Perth house values have shot up over 9% in the last year alone. It feels like if you're not in the housing market, you're missing out big time. This creates a massive sense of FOMO, the fear of missing out. People are stretching their budgets to the absolute limit, getting into emotional bidding wars and paying a huge premium just to get a foothold in the market. But let's be real about what this means for an investor. The barrier of entry is enormous. When the median house price is costing you nearly $1 million, your deposit, stamp duty and holding costs are substantial. You're fighting it out with a flood of other buyers, which just pushes prices higher and squeezes your potential returns. There's this idea that a rising tide lifts all boats and that Perth's property boom will make any property a winner. But honestly, that is a trap. In a hot market, the biggest risk is buying at the peak of the hype. The real strategy isn't to follow the crowd, it's to find where the value is. It's about finding the type of property that's been overlooked, where numbers still make perfect sense and where the next wave of growth is about to hit. And that property right now in Perth is the humble unit. So why are units the secret weapon for savvy investors in today's market? It boils down to a powerful combo of affordability, cash flow, and good old-fashioned supply and demand, which I talk about quite a lot. First, let's talk about price. The median price for a unit in Perth is around $650,000, a huge discount compared to the median house price. In suburbs where houses are flying past $1 million, you can often grab a high-quality unit for significantly less. So take a suburb like Maylands, where you can find units with a median price of about $540,000. This lower entry point doesn't just mean a smaller loan, it means your money can work harder. You might be able to buy 2 units for the price of 1 house, doubling your rental income streams and diversifying your risk. But affordability is only half the picture. The real power is in the rental returns. The rental market for units in Perth is incredibly strong. Right now, investors are seeing gross rental yields for units hitting around 5.5%. In some suburbs, it gets even better. For example, units in Leederville are delivering yields of 6.1%. The strong, steady cash flow is the engine of your investment, or I like to call it the blood flow. It helps cover your mortgage, pays your expenses, and can put money back in your pocket from day one. And finally, the supply and demand curve is tipped firmly in your favour. There is a massive shortage of properties for sale in Perth, with listings down over 42% compared to last year. This scarcity is fueling both growth and rental growth. In fact, unit price growth at 11.2% annually is now outpacing house price growth. It's why vacancy rates are near crisis levels for renters, creating intense competition and giving landlords the power to increase rents. So how do we find these investment gems? It's not about luck. It's about a clear data-driven method. I'm going to walk you through 4 critical market signals that will lead you straight to an undervalued unit that's ready for growth. This is your number one metric for cash flow. It's a simple calculation. Your annual rent divided by the property's price. It's a raw measure of the return your asset generates. In the current Perth market, unit yields are averaging a healthy 5.4%, but when you see a suburb like Leederville hitting a 6.1% yield, that's a flashing green light for a powerful tenant demand and a solid investment. A great yield means nothing if your property is empty. That's why the vacancy rate is our second key signal. It tells you what percentage of rentals in an area are vacant. A rate below 1% is a landlord's dream. It means extreme competition for rentals, giving you security and the power to increase rent over time. Right now, Perth's overall vacancy rate is sitting around 2%, which is historically very tight. If you buy in a market this tight, you can be confident your investment will be making money from the get-go. We're all aware of queues of people heading out to view rental properties. So cash flow is king, but we're also investing for capital growth. You want to see a suburb is on the move. Look for areas with double-digit annual price growth for units. This proves the market has recognised the value and demand is pushing prices up. A perfect example is Maylands, where unit prices have seen a stunning 26.5% growth over the past year. But here's a pro tip. You don't just want to look at the last year. Check the 5-year trend to make sure the growth is sustainable. This confirms the recent boom isn't just a fluke. The last signal is your real-time indicator of buyer demand. Days on the market tells you how fast properties are selling. A low number means they're getting snapped up. Right now, homes in Perth are selling in a median of just 12 days, which is incredibly fast. When you see a suburb where units are selling in 8 or 9 days, like Maylands, you know you've found a hotspot. It shows buyers are confident and acting fast, and it confirms the properties are priced right for the market. Alright, let's put this method into action. I'm going to show you 3 suburbs that perfectly illustrate what we're looking for, each with a slightly different investment profile. Maylands is the quintessential Perth unit gem. It just ticks every box. The median unit price is in that perfect sweet spot of around $541,000, making it accessible, but its performance is off the charts. It has recorded an incredible 26.5% price growth in the last year alone. And with units selling in just 8 days on average, you know demand is red hot. It delivers a solid rental yield of 5.3%, and its proximity to the city and cool local vibe make it a magnet for great tenants. It's an ideal pick for an investor chasing a balance of strong growth and reliable cash flow. If your number one goal is to maximise your rental income from day one, you have to look at Armidale. This suburb is an absolute cash flow machine with a super affordable median unit price of around $510,000. It delivers an outstanding rental yield of 5.2%. The growth here is also staggering, with unit prices up 20% over the last year. Its strategic location with great transport links and major planned upgrades makes it a hotspot for tenants and investors alike, keeping their income stream strong and reliable. For investors with a slightly larger budget targeting long-term stable growth in a blue-chip hotspot, Leederville is a prime target. The median unit price is higher here at about $722,500, but what you get for that is exceptional quality and security. The suburb has seen 18.4% price growth in the last year and delivers a fantastic 6.1% rental yield with its incredible lifestyle appeal. Cafes, parks, and right on the city's edge, demand for rents is insatiable. This is the classic set and forget investment in a location that will always be in high demand. So now you know the signals and you know some suburbs where this is happening right now. But how do you find the next Maylands or Armidale before everyone else does? First, get obsessed with infrastructure. Dig into local government plans. A new train station, hospital expansion, or a major shopping centre can completely change a suburb's future. Buying before that project is finished is how you capture the biggest growth. Second, watch for accelerating rental growth. When you see a suburb where rents suddenly jump from their historical average to 15% or more in a year, that's a sign that demand is overwhelming supply. Price growth almost always follows. And finally, looking to emerging suburbs that aren't on every investor's hit list yet. Areas like Coburn Central, Baldivis, Morley are all attracting young families and first-time home buyers with their affordability and new amenities. They've got strong rental demand and major infrastructure in the pipeline. By applying our 4-signal method to these developing areas, you can get in on the ground floor and ride the next wave of growth. For the last couple of years, the big story in Perth has been record-breaking house prices, but as we've seen today, the headlines don't always tell you where the smart money is going. The real opportunity isn't chasing the peak of the market, it's in finding the underlying value. It's in the units that offer stronger cash flow, lower prices, and are located in suburbs with rock-solid fundamentals. By using the method we've walked through, analysing yield, vacancy rates, price growth, and days on the market, you can cut through the hype and make decisions based on data. The Perth market is packed with opportunity, but it rewards those who are strategic and disciplined. Don't follow the crowd, follow the data. The investment gems are out there waiting for you now. If you're ready to stop guessing and start building a real strategy for your Perth property portfolio, I offer a free, no obligation strategy session where we can help you apply this method to your own financial situation and goals. Email me in the details below with "I'd like a free strategy session" and I'll be in touch. And if you haven't already, make sure you like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. My next video is a deep dive into one of the up and coming locations that fits the bill above. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.